You could be wasting time on solid tools in SketchUp. Stick with me in this video and I'll go through some tips on how to maximize your output from solid tools. Solid tools are SketchUp's Boolean operations, so subtracting or adding geometries. And there are a couple ways that it works that you might not know about. So I'm going to show a couple examples in this video of ways that you can improve your use of solid tools and get to your desired result faster. I'm all about helping you out today, improving your efficiency in 3D modeling. If you have any ideas or other things that I left out, definitely leave a comment down below. But hey, let's get into the video right now. All right, I have a few different examples to show some tips on using solid tools and getting the most out of it. The first is with this coat rack, this rather hefty coat rack. As you can see, the arms are separate from the base here. And as I click through, you can notice in entity info, all these are solids. We're not going to cover what a solid is in this video. We have other videos on our channel for that, but to use solid tools, all the groups or components that you use will have to be solid. But I want to connect these all together into one solid piece. This thing needs to be more solid. So when I first started using solid tools, one of the things that I didn't really get, I thought it was like kind of an either A plus B or A minus B, meaning you could only do two things. Like I would look at this, I would say, so I'd click outer shell, right? And it would say, where's your first component? Where's your second? So I would do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and that worked. Not too many clicks for this piece, but you can do it in fewer. So if I go back to all these separate, what's great about outer shell is that I can just select all these at once and hit the outer shell once, and it'll do the same thing. Now it's just one solid group. So you can combine more than one container or group or component at once using outer shell. So that's something to know. The other thing is about materials. So I have this, shiny metal material here, and if I want to scoop this out, subtract this from this, I would just hit subtract and take this out. But the inside of this hole, if you can tell, is not the same material. It takes the material from the cutter itself. So this is just like the default material. But if I go in here and I sample this and then do that same subtraction, now that interior material is the same as the exterior material, just saving me a little bit extra time and making sure that whatever this cauldron is all the same material like you'd expect. One thing you should know about using solid tools is that it converts components to groups. So I have multiple of these comb components in this model, as you can plainly see right in front of you. And I want to kind of take these tines or these teeth, I suppose they're teeth from this comb, and kind of give a little swoop to it and a little more of an angle on here. Thankfully, I have this cutter prepared right over here. Get the right axis, and then I'll just put this in place. And I'll do that same kind of subtraction I did last time, subtract it from here, and nice, that's what I'm looking for. But unfortunately, it didn't do it on the other components, right? So this got converted to a group, and there's still 3 in the model. So if I just go back one step, one way to get around this, I'll take my cutter, cut it, I'll go into this context, select all of this, and make this a group. Now this is a solid group, edit, paste in place. I have my cutter, I'll do that same subtraction again, and this is still a group, that's fine, but then you can see that the component maintained, so all the other combs in my hairdresser model here are reflecting that same change, which is a good way to go about solid tools. This is something I sometimes do with solid tools. Does anybody else do this? I just make like kind of these swoopy shapes and then just combine them or subtract them and see what they look like, just because I think it looks cool. But the point of this exercise here is that the order in which you subtract stuff matters. So you always select what you want to cut out first. That's the cutter. So I'll take this and subtract it from this. And then if I use this and subtract it from here, I get something that maybe you think, what's the point? Who cares? But something that looks a little interesting. And then if I go back and then I can, if I use this to cut out of this first, and then this, you know, from here, I get a little bit different result. And I'll try another way. This from here, and then cut this from this. So the order that which you select things matters. The first, when you're doing one of the subtractive solid tool operations, is the thing that you're going to cut away, that you're going to use to cut, right? That you're going to remove from the other object. And then the second is the object you're going to remove it from. So that's a good thing to know. As we swoop around here to this last example, this is about, you have a complex geometry existing, and I'm putting it on this site, and I want to, if I go in here, it's just kind of sticking right into the ground. So I want to remove that material from this sloped site. Now, this model was not necessarily, modeled with having solid tools in mind, so it's a little bit more complicated to turn this into a solid. But if I just hide the rest of the model here, thankfully I can just go in and just draw rectangles to kind of quickly outline the building footprint here. And then kind of just quickly model the envelope itself. Make that a group and cut it. And I'll come out, paste it in place. And then I'll actually do a split operation with the ground here. So I can get rid of this. And then if I temporarily hide the building, I can move this out. This is the material we'll have to remove in order to get the unhide last house to sit flush on there without overlapping any geometry. And you also get the volume of the material you had to remove. Is that the best way to do that? I don't know, but it's a way that you can use solid tools to quickly intersect this building footprint with this ground plane. Or it's not really a plane, but the ground. You get it. So these are some of the tips and tricks that I've picked up on solid tools over the years, but I'm sure some of you watching have a lot more experience with solid tools than I do. So what are your hacks for solid tools? What are your little tips, your little time-saving tricks? Let me know. I'm always looking to learn more, and share with this community as well, which is part of what we're looking to do here. If you like the video, if you got something out of it, definitely give us a like down below. If you have ideas for other videos you'd like us to cover, let us know that as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a great day.